Hello my dear students, we will continue the biology revision question 2. What's meant by the tropism in the plant? Tropism is the curvature of the plant parts toward or away an external stimulus as light, gravity and water. If the stimulus is light, that's called the phototropism. If the stimulus is gravity, is the geotropism. If the stimulus is water or the humidity, that's called the hydrotropism. Was scientist Hermann explained the phenomenon of the tropism in the plant by using the methods followed by the scientist Wendt in his experiment. We understand that Wendt, W-E-N-T, Wendt explains that the action of auxin responsible for the causing or responsible for the tropism or the phototropism. When the growing tip exposed to illumination from lateral side, that means the concentration of auxin at the side away from the light increase, and that causing the increasing the growth of the plant parts or the plant stem at the side that away from the light, and the low concentration of auxin that will be 35% that inhibit the growth of the stem, so the stem tend toward the light. But in the case of the Hermann experiment, the Hermann explains that when the growing tip is removed from the plant and put the growing tip on two blocks of agar separated by mica sheet, one in the case or one case in the vertical position and the other in horizontal position. In the case of the vertical position, that means the effect of the gravity on the two sides equal each other, so the concentration of auxin in the case of the vertical position 50-50. But when the Hermann put the growing tip in the horizontal position, that means the block of agar at the side that facing the gravity containing a high concentration of auxin, it will be 67%, but that away from the gravity 33%. Wendt explains that when the concentration of auxin at the side that facing the gravity increase, it appear on the experiment of the Hermann experiment in the ratio of 67%, and the side away from the gravity 33%. The high concentration of auxin that accelerates the growth of the stem cells that facing the gravity, and the low concentration 33% inhibit the growth of the upper side or the side that away from the gravity, so the stem tend away from the gravity, and it's called the negative geotropism. But in the case of the root, the high concentration of auxin at the side facing the gravity 67%, that inhibit the growth of the root, but at the upper side or the side away from the gravity containing 33%, that accelerates the growth of the root cell, so the upper side of the root grow faster than that facing the gravity, so curvature takes place in the root, so the root is called the positive geotropism. The next question, that's the part of the explaining of the Wendt experiment, and after that Hermann experiment and the comparison between them. In the case of the Wendt experiment, that experiment that explains the effect of the auxin on the phototropism, but Hermann experiment carry out the same experiment with the same manner to explain the action of auxin on the geotropism. What is the importance of each of the following? Colchicine, epinephrine hormone, and the lymphatic node. The colchicine is a chemical substance. Colchicine, nitrous acid, the mustard gas. The three chemical substance, the man used these chemical substance during the treatment of the growing tip with the colchicine, for example, that causing the atrophy of the upper part, and the cells will die, but the cells beneath the upper part to grow and form 2N, or the cells can divide without the formation of the middle lamella, so the cells can produce polyploidy or 4N chromosomes. The polyploidy that leads to the formation of big fruits, or fruits with seedless, or fruits with sweety or more sweet fruits. So that produced the fruits with the certain characters during the, or that takes place during the polyploidy, which takes place inside the plant parts. That's the importance of the culture scene, that the formation of polyploidy in plants by the man, which act as an induced mutation. But the epinephrine hormone, it is the hormone that responsible for, or that's secreted from the medulla of the adrenal gland. The epinephrine help the man to facing the critical situation by the stimulation of the liver to change the glycogen that's stored inside the liver into glucose, and that increase the glucose level in blood, and also that stimulates the increasing the heart beating and the pulsating of blood vessels, that causing increasing the blood pressure in man, and also stimulates the rate of the respiration and the consumption of the oxygen to produce sufficient amount of energy that to facing the critical situation. So the epinephrine hormone is a hormone responsible for help the body to facing the critical situation by increasing the heart beating, increase the glucose level, increasing the blood pressure, so that help the man to facing the situation or the critical situation. But the third part of the question is the lymphatic nodes. The lymphatic nodes are nodes located on a certain distance on the lymphatic vessels. The lymphatic nodes are responsible for the production of white blood cells and also squeezing the blood plasma or filter the blood plasma to form the lymph. In addition of the production of great number of WBCs, that's called the lymph. And the lymph with the sufficient amount of number of WBCs that help the body to facing the attack of the pathogen or the microbes, because the WBCs can engulf the microbes and produce the antibodies. So the lymphatic nodes are nodes responsible for the formation of the lymph and the formation of the WBCs, and the most famous lymph node is the spleen. My dear students, that's the end of this part. Thank you very much. Goodbye and good luck.